If you or anyone around you are affected by the subjects of today's podcast, you can reach out to get help, advice, or support from our charity partners, Women's Aid, at womensaid.org.uk, or the Yorkshire-based organisation IDAS at idas.org.uk. You can also find these links and reach out to us directly via our website takebackthebeat.co.uk or email us at takebackthebeattour@gmail.com. That's takebackthebeattour@gmail.com.
Take back the beat. Voice notes. Hello.
Hi there.
Welcome to Take Back the Beat. Voice notes.
Yummy. Sounds
Voice
delightful.
notes. Oh, hay fever is just like... I'm probably going to talk about this on every episode throughout the summer, but hay fever, please bugger off, because I sound like Barry White.
Yeah, but it's sexy though. We love a Barry White.
Like Phoebe on Friends. Sticky shoes.
Sticky shows.
Why you stick on me?
So now,
Hello.
on a scale of 1 to a whole jar of Biscoff, that didn't make sense, but it did. Where are you? Who are you? What's going on?
Who am I?
Who am
I don't
I?
know anymore. I feel like I'm always a bit down with these at the moment, but I'm okay. Had an interesting phone call with the doctors.
Oh, this pissed me off.
So
Tell the
again,
listeners. Tell them.
Yeah, I'm very open on this podcast, so you can hear all the insights of my life. So obviously, I'm on the mini pill, and I then went on some antibiotics over when I was ill a couple of weeks ago, and basically ended up having a period. Sorry for anyone who doesn't like talking about periods, but get over it. It's biological. It's biology.
Biology.
I'm tired.
I was like, where's she
Biology.
going with that?
Biological.
Biological.
Can't escape my biology. Sorry.
Oh my god, I was just about to sing the same thing, but
Oh
then
my
I was
God.
like, no one will get it because no one's as old as us. But clearly, anyway.
Yeah.
Shout out to Girls Aloud.
Shout out. Yeah, so basically I went on these antibiotics, had a period, which is really weird, and it's not been very nice. I've been in a lot of pain. And also I've really noticed that my anxiety and depression have been really fucking bad. So I kind of had a bit of a heart-to-heart with my mum and my boyfriend, and was just like, I don't feel like myself, and I don't like how I feel. I always feel quite numb, and blah, blah, blah. Called the doctors this morning, and she was just like, yeah, but what are your actual symptoms? And I was like, well, the bleeding, obviously, and the pain.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, well, these are your options, and gave me like one that I don't really want to do. And then was like, right, to address your mental health, like, we can put you on antidepressants, we can do this. And I was like,
No.
I don't want to take any more drugs. I don't want to take hormones. I don't want to take, like, I think that's what's fucking my brain up.
Yeah,
Like,
and they don't give you options like them just going, here's some tablets, go. Here's
that's
some
not a
beta
solution.
blockers. No, that's
yeah,
not.
it's not a solution. It's a fucking Band-Aid. Band-Aid? I've watched far too much Netflix this week. Plaster. It's a plaster.
Too much American TV.
Too much Stranger Things, and what else am I watching at the moment? I don't know. Friends, probably.
Friends.
Yeah, it's a fucking
Mine's
plaster.
Big Bang.
So,
I always have Big Bang
I
on the
love
background.
Big Bang Theory.
Yep.
Sheldon's so cute.
Yay.
But yeah, so I'm like, I feel like better today. I'm just kind of laughing about it, and I was like, oh sure. Yeah, so I'm on maybe a whole tub of Biscoff. But just
But
one.
wait, can I say what you told me earlier or no?
What did I tell you earlier? That's
About
a really good question.
don't you point them fingers at me? She's pointing at me through Zoom. She's
Like,
she's
what does that
threatening me
mean?
with finger scissors over Zoom.
Like, what did you say? What did I tell you earlier? I
Yeah,
don't know
we
what
could
I
just
told
cut this out. Maybe is that what you're doing?
you. Cut. No, I don't know. What's happening?
So
can't
no,
remember.
because when you start talking about the doctor thing,
Oh yeah.
the reason I said it pissed me off because obviously we speak every second of every day because we're a married couple. Sorry,
Oh
Aidan.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
you
that was it.
said that you'd mentioned like the ill thoughts, and she was
Yeah.
like, "Meh," just like,
It was just nothing, and then said about my exercise regime, and was like, you should maybe exercise
"You
more.
should
And I was
exercise more," because
um,
she's like, "That's not how to do." Like, I think you should
No.
report her. Like, I'm sorry,
I was
but
like, I'm a performer. Like, I exercise most days. And then
Mhm.
she was said about getting more of a stable life, because of my sleeping and stuff. And I was like, that's not really an option.
They're not options. Like,
They're not
that's not.
options.
You
But
don't call
thank
the
you.
doctors and they go, change everything about your life and
Change your
everything will
lifestyle.
be
Yeah.
fine. No.
Because when she asked about like my sleep pattern, and she was like, "Oh, so like how much sleep do you get?" I was like, "Not a lot. Like I suffered from insomnia a few years ago, and like I've still have days when like that. But like I average like 4 to 5 hours a night, which isn't great, but
No,
it's
it's
better than
not.
it was." And she was like, "What time are you going to sleep?" And I was like, "Well, it depends on the time I get back from a gig. Like on Saturday, I didn't get to sleep till 5 a.m., but then
Yeah.
on Sunday it was 1 a.m. And she was so like, "What is this life? Like, no, you need to get a bit more stability and a bit more routine." And I was like, "Okay, okay,
How
hun,
though?
sure." Um, so yeah, I think I kind of just came off that chat and was like, do you know what? I'm gonna kind of go back to my like therapist and actually just put the money into like actually doing that rather than going and thinking it's changing my pill and changing this, changing that. So yeah, it was a bit annoying. It was a very annoying phone call. We literally had it just before we jumped on to do this
Yeah.
podcast. So
Yeah, it's just. I'm sorry, I get so angry for you, but it's just
it's just ridiculous.
people who might not be able to actually cope, like genuinely might be at the end
Yeah.
of the tether. It's so damaging to people who call up, who finally have the courage. Like, you could have been, at rock bottom, and it might have took everything in you to just press those buttons and just be like, go and call the doctors, and then for her to just kind of shake it off,
Blase it off, yeah.
you know.
And I just wanted to get off the phone. Like literally the second I was like, she was very much like, oh, these are two separate things. And I was like, no, I think it's being caused by this. It was very much like I just want to get off this phone because I don't think this is
So
going to
she
help
just
me.
gave you very like, what's the word I'm looking for? The phrase, like
Vague?
on a large scale solution, like change your
Yeah.
life, go to the gym. Like, no,
Yeah.
like
Okay,
help.
hun.
Like let's
Yeah.
You're calling because you're like, how do we get to the bottom of this? I think it could be my pill because da 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 and this, that, and the other, and this is happening. And she's gone,
Yeah.
change your entire life and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
Like,
on one. Farah's on one.
No, but it's just it's just one of them things. So yeah, I'm a solid like one jar
Okay.
a day maybe. What about you? How are you on a scale of 1 to a whole jar of Biscoff? How you feeling?
I'm not talking to Biscoff because they're still not sponsored us, so. So I'm eating
We're
peanut
gonna
butter
change
now.
it soon. Yeah,
That's right.
Nutella.
Your sales are going to drop now because I'm onto peanut butter. No, I think I'm okay. Yeah, I'm
Great.
good. I think.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, I've had. Okay, let's get real. I'll get real to an extent because I wasn't actually going to talk about this, but
To as much as you want to say.
yeah. And that's why Nat jumped in there because she's very protective and she knows what's happened. I also don't want to give energy to something
Nope.
or someone, should I say?
Nope.
But we've had a pretty shit week in the family. It's been quite bad. We've had some nasty things happen, but by a certain someone. But we are strong, and it's as simple as that. We're a strong family to break, so and so it has been tough. It's been a tough week. It's all kind of come towards the end of the tour, which sucks. But I didn't let it dampen anything. I didn't let it take away from what we've done. And I'm dealing with that with my dad at the minute, which is tough. But I'm gonna be his rock because he's always mine when I need him.
Yeah. You've got each other.
Yeah.
Like, you have got each other.
Yeah, so we're good, and so I'm gonna do a little shout out to my dad because I love you, and we've got this. Ian. So yeah, we love Daddy Ian. So there you go. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I'm good. But apart from that, I don't want to be cryptic, and I'm not being that bitch who's like.
No.
But I thought I'd just be honest.
Yeah.
But I will talk about it later on. When I'm ready to. But
and
yeah.
also when you're probably, like, again, not to be cryptic, but like probably shouldn't really talk about it on a public forum.
That's another thing. I don't know if I can
at this
yet.
kind of moment. At this kind of moment.
The police are involved, so I don't know if I can talk about it. That's why.
Yes,
basically.
Yeah, we're.
But I just let you all know I'm safe. No one was injured, thank God.
Yeah, she's
but
fine.
Yeah, it's been a tough old week in that sense.
But you got each other, and you got the dogs, and
yay. So we're good. We're good as a family. We're closer than ever. So yeah. So it's not really been Biscoff. It might have been a bottle of wine.
I was about to say, knowing you and your dad, it's probably a lot of beers.
Yeah, just a few Carlin. But I'm not promoting drink. Don't binge drink. I don't know. I don't want to get into trouble.
Don't deal with your emotions through alcohol.
No, that was a joke. A very bad joke. But drink responsibly, kids. Not kids. Oh my God, shut up, Farah. Okay, moving on.
Right, let's just get the guest in before she kicks off.
Before I get sued.
Yeah, God. Right, this week we have an amazing story. It probably might be a bit vague and it might be a bit tough. It's the first time he's spoken out about it. We are going to protect his privacy.
Yes.
Like we said, at all our events, the events were private, the events were anonymous. Like we're not going to share pictures or anything like that. So please respect this guy's privacy, and we're going to welcome James into the room.
Here we go.
Hello.
Hi, James.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How's everyone else?
Great.
Good. Yeah, good. We're good.
Yeah.
Busy weekend of shows again, but other than that, all good.
We're in it. So thank you so much for coming on here and talking to us. It's always lovely to get a male's perspective.
Yes.
So obviously, everyone in the listeners who knows, take your time, tell us as much of your story as you would like to tell us. Start from wherever you want.
Yep.
You can even just tell us why you're passionate about the cause. Whatever you want to tell us, we are here to hear.
Sorry, you'll have to excuse me because I do have a bit of a stammer when I talk about this sort of stuff. So
that's absolutely fine. Take your time.
Don't worry. The internet isn't lagging or anything like that. It's literally that I start going into a stutter rap. So, yeah, I think for me mainly it's giving a bit of an insight into a male perspective on how things go. There's still a lot of people that don't think that males can go through bad relationships like this, and they don't understand that a lot of the stuff that happens with guys is a lot more psychological than it is physical. And the effects that obviously it has on everyone is quite hard. But what I found going through is not only was I trying to fight my way out of a situation, or tell a lie, that I wasn't trying to fight myself out of a situation when I was in it, but when I did come out of it, I was fighting to be heard by the people that are supposed to help you.
Yeah.
From everyone, from the police, even down to the when I had to have
Take your time.
I had to have a non-molestation order put on someone.
Oh wow.
I was actually had the phone put down on me by the National Centre for Domestic Violence.
What?
Because they didn't. It was a lady that was getting annoyed because my stammer was.
Oh no! Really?
Yeah, my stammer was so bad. She just didn't and put the phone down.
What the fuck?
And is this? You said this stammer. Has this come from the relationship?
I've literally only had my stammer for 5 or 6 years, and it came about when my second ex-wife was in an argument, and basically halfway through this, when I was I just all of a sudden just couldn't talk properly, and it's been there ever since.
I remember you telling me that. James and I have spoke briefly before this podcast, and I remember you telling me that is, and I suppose we don't think of things like that, like the actual physical effects afterwards. um, of it all. You know, we all have those scars on the inside, but it's actually obviously clearly come out of in a different way for you, the trauma.
It's a new thing as well. I mean, this is just something that you can obviously see and hear, but because it's a new thing, if you've got somebody that doesn't really care in front of you or doesn't
Yeah.
understand, or even the ex-partner, they'll they'll use that, or they'll tell people that it's just put on, that it's
Jesus.
no it's not real. You're just playing a victim. You're
Wow.
Because I can, at the moment, is because of the subject matter, it
Yeah.
becomes quite hard to talk about.
Yeah.
But when I talk every day, if I'm comfortable, the stammer's gone.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've chatted to you and I never noticed it.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it just
So
shows what your brain
Yep.
associates pain and
yeah,
it's how it deals with it.
like a lot of people, I've I've gone through mental health services. I'm one of the lucky ones now, because I've got proper help through the NHS, where
Yeah.
they're
Amazing.
actually looking at what they call cat therapy,
Oh,
which is
wow.
like
What's that?
for um, things like PTSD and stuff like that. So it's like proper trauma therapy. But I mean, I've so I've been lucky in that respect, but a lot of people
Yeah.
don't get that. Um,
And how did you go about that then? Because obviously, just going back a little bit, you did mention that they didn't take you seriously in the beginning. Um, so how did you then go about getting this help and advice and through the NHS? Did you just call the different? Did you get in touch with them, or how did that work?
if I go back
Yeah.
Yeah.
to, I've been married twice, and both my wives haven't been very nice people,
Oh, no.
which I I have now found out that when you have, there is something that you don't know of, that you become attracted to people that have this
Yeah.
way about them, but you don't understand while you're in it. Um, and so my first wife did a lot of the damage,
Yeah.
and I was trying to get help through for depression when I was with her. After that, um, when she, because eventually she had an affair and left, and I just broke down. It was a case that basically um, I was made to feel as if I was lucky to have her, and
Okay.
Right.
if she wasn't there, then I'd be nothing. Then obviously she just, and I thought, well, that's it, me done. But also, I mean, like, it was things. We were both living in the same house, but she was seeing this guy that lived a few doors down, and
Oh God.
just walking
God.
off and going to see him at night. I found out that
What?
I lived in a small village, and about 70% of the people that I knew about the affair before
Oh
I knew about it.
Jesus.
Oh,
So there
it
was
just makes you feel horrendous. It
yeah,
Yeah.
just,
Because then
uh,
it's that thing of not being able to trust anyone either.
yeah,
yeah. And
exactly,
you feel humiliated. Like,
Hmm.
yeah,
it,
exactly.
oh, babe, bless you.
So then um, I started to see a doctor then. I went to the doctors then, and obviously I was in a pretty bad state.
Yeah.
I went to see. Um, they put me through to some people, and before that it had just been sit down, and I was getting worse and worse and worse. I didn't realise I was in a bad relationship because I got married early, and
Yeah.
until I came out, and
Yeah.
but when I came out, people were going, "That's not right," and that shouldn't have been that way.
Yeah.
And then I went to see a proper, like they gave me the proper assessment, the proper assessment,
Yeah.
and I went through everything with her, and she basically took all the notes, and after an hour she said, "You you need long-term help, long-term,
Okay.
but the NHS have had all their money cut,
Yeah.
and we don't have the money to support you."
Oh wow.
So eventually started going on. I started to build myself back up. I went to see private people. I
Yeah.
found another person that I got married to, and then literally as soon as we got married, she changed. I've
So
got
you found her whilst you were in therapy?
so I I run music groups,
Yeah.
and she came along to one of the music groups,
Right.
and we got together through that.
And did
Um,
she know about like your history
but
and stuff?
I was getting myself better, if you like, it after that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, she completely knew about it. But the thing is, she then used that
Yeah.
Yeah.
against me, and it was like,
Jeez.
yeah, she was she was right. People do say
Yeah.
this about you. People do think this about you.
Oh God.
And she was,
Used it as a weapon
yeah,
against you.
but she was also a lot more physical. So I
Okay.
don't know. I mean, on my forehead, I've got scars where she one day. So she was an alcoholic,
Right.
and would go through 2-3 bottles of red a night, and it wasn't just like once a night, once
Oh
in
God.
a while. It was every night.
Every day, yeah.
And one night she was in bed, and I was trying to go to sleep, and she was laughing at me and telling me I was disgusting, and the normal
Oh
stuff
jeez.
that they do. And I just had enough. I picked the bottle of wine up, and I threw it down the sink,
Wow.
because I knew it was the wine talking.
Yeah.
Anyway, she picked up my phone, which was an iPhone. Now, if you're a musician, you know that a lot of your
Voice
work,
notes.
yeah,
Yeah.
everything revolves around that phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And
does.
we were in the bedroom, and she went to go. She opened the window and went to throw it out the top window.
Oh Jesus.
So I went to grab her or grab the phone to stop her from doing it, and she literally just latched onto me, and tried to rip my eyes out with her nails.
Oh my
Oh.
God.
I've got so she ripped all my nose to pieces. That was bleeding.
Oh.
I had train tracks from her nails going up
Oh fucking hell,
here.
man. I'm so
So
sorry.
Oh my
it
God.
was yeah. So that wasn't great. Um so she was a bit
Jeez.
more physical than the other, and
Did
she
she blame the alcohol by any chance? Would
it,
she come to and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, that's what it was, and I can change," and or was it just no?
she
Nothing.
didn't think there was anything wrong with anything that she'd ever done.
Oh, that's
Wow.
such a head fuck, especially like if you're already so low
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
Hmm.
someone's telling that, of course your brain is going to go, well, you're right. Of course you're right.
hmm
Yeah,
Like,
because
fuck.
this is what I've been told.
Oh,
So
hmm
yeah.
So yeah, and then it was little things. So we both had kids, and her kids would get treated better than mine. She would want me to not
God.
bother with my two boys, and I wasn't having any of that.
No.
Wow.
And
Good for you.
she left, saying that she'd had enough. But this was about 7 weeks later. She had stopped the money coming. So she'd stopped. She'd closed the banks
Oh
down.
God.
She
Jeez.
stopped all the benefits. We were supposed to be running a business which was taking no money at the time. So I was left with no money, no nothing,
Oh God.
and it just, and then 7 weeks later, something happened, which I don't know. It was something very small,
Yeah.
and she just absolutely exploded at me, and told me that we were going to be getting back together, and it was all my fault. And ever since then, she just she she just seemed to have this thing about wanting to destroy anything and everything about me.
Wow.
So
Oh my God.
both of them have gone round and said that I was the one that was abusive towards them, which, if anyone knows me, knows that I am the least confrontational person in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Bless you.
And when you bear in mind as well that I work with kids, in
Yeah.
schools, so that's dangerous in itself.
Yeah.
Social media campaigns against me.
What?
So I'd been living in this one village for nearly 20 years, and afterwards I just went, I can't. I had people around the house telling me to get out of the village. Nobody wanted me here. I was being accused of theft and all sorts of stuff. So
Oh
I
my
thought,
God.
I'm
Like a
just,
witch hunt.
yeah, I thought I'm just gonna go. She
Oh,
found out
bless you.
where I was gonna go and started putting posts on the on the town sites of, watch this guy, he's a thief, he's a wife beater, he does this, he does that.
What?
Yeah.
Did you go to the police regarding this and all these lies and things like that? Did you tell them? Did you show them the posts? What did they do?
So sorry.
No, take your time.
I went to the police
Yeah.
a few times. When she went, with the mental health side of things, I basically rang up the doctors because I knew I wasn't getting any help,
Yeah.
and I said, you need to help me right now because I'm not going to be here tomorrow if you don't.
Oh,
Oh
mate.
shit.
Sorry.
No,
Oh.
take your time. Like, absolutely have a breath. Like, it's people don't realize, like, we're just sat here talking like years later,
So,
but it's hard.
I'm sending you a virtual hug.
I went back to the doctors,
Yeah.
and I was basically looked after by a few different doctors from that one. But then the twist is, here comes the twist. I moved away from this village because I started seeing someone else. This was a good year after we'd been divorced and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this is when the social media stuff started coming.
Yeah.
It was in the starts of the relationship that my new girlfriend was there when people came and knocked on the door
Right.
and knew about what was going on with the doctors and all these other bits and pieces. And I moved away basically to be near her.
Okay.
So dropped everything and went up there.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. We were together about 18 months, and then we decided that, she said at the beginning of the pandemic, let's move in together.
Oh wow.
So
Right.
I gave up everything to move in with her, and I moved into a mum's house because we were going to be building a house on the farm that her mum owns. And 2 weeks after, before she sold her house, she went, actually, I don't want to do this anymore. And by the way, I'm gay.
What?
Oh,
So,
shit.
so I was stuck, basically homeless
During the pandemic as well.
during the pandemic. Couldn't get out. Couldn't see anyone. All my friends
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
hey.
were her friends,
Oh, there are layers to this.
Yeah.
Gosh.
and then her new girlfriend became an absolute nightmare. The situation was that I'd moved into a mum's farmhouse.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, because her mum moved out to to Cyprus just before the pandemic, and I was supposed to be living there to
Okay.
look after the animals. And then it was
Oh, right.
let's move in together.
Wow.
So we moved into there. She said I don't want to do it, so moved into a holiday bungalow 50 yards away, which was the only other property within about a mile of this place. So I still try to keep it as friendly as possible, and everything was fine until this new girlfriend turned up. I got really ill again.
Mm-hmm.
I got really ill again.
Yeah, it's a lot to handle.
Yeah. And then and throw in a pandemic on top of that, like
Mm.
not good.
So I went back under the crisis team again, and we had a puppy, which was supposed to be a shared puppy. But then after looking after this dog for almost a year, I was told that it wasn't my dog. My daughter was told that it wasn't hers, and that was it. It was gone. It was off to. We weren't allowed to see it anymore. It was just.
Oh God.
So I was speaking to my therapist, and I sort of said I'm going to get another dog because
Yeah.
it was kind of like a way of me having something during the pandemic that to have an extra thing there.
I mean, dogs help anyway, don't they?
Dogs
They
are
are
life. Yeah.
angels. Yeah,
You've met my dog, I think, haven't you? So
I have. Yeah.
you know that she's a bit of a she's a special one. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I took the dog for a walk, and she was, it's on farmland, so she's off a lead.
Of course.
And the new girlfriend, the dog runs up to the new girlfriend, just as puppies do.
Yeah.
She kicked the dog, and then followed me down the track, telling me how nobody wanted me around, how I should actually go and kill myself.
What the fuck?
Told me that, well, taking the mick at my stammer.
Oh my God, this all makes me so angry.
My abilities as a musician, that I couldn't do what I was doing. The
Jesus.
favourite one of anyone that knows, when you're in this business, you'll never be famous. There was also they were going to come and get me from the house and drag me out, and all sorts. And basically, they left me completely homeless.
And traumatized. Basically,
Yeah.
fucking bullied you.
So I was trying to get out of the house as quick as I could.
Mm.
I was back home with the crisis team again, and they were saying I need to get out. I was under the male domestic violence place again,
Yeah.
because obviously all this was happening, and with histories and everything. There was something called DINAS, which is which was
You're
which
okay.
was a special team that were supposed to be work alongside other services, and also VOCAS as well, which was the Victim of Crimes Service.
Yeah.
Right.
Was every time they turned up, called the police because they were just walking to the house, or I would get shouted at, or
What?
it was just horrendous. I mean, I've got videos, of what was happening.
Yeah.
And I tried to but this was when the whole if you're a male came about,
Right.
that it really showed more, because I went through. I tried to speak to the council. I found out I've done a Freedom of Information Act since.
Right.
It took me a year for them to actually listen to me, and they never actually believed that I was homeless. They thought, they just went, he's just looking for a house. They have, when they do an assessment on somebody that's going through, they do this thing where it's like marked 1 to 15 or something like that. I can't
Yeah.
remember exactly what it is. And I came up really high on that scale, that I was in high risk.
Yeah.
I had 3 of those tests, all of which came out as high risk.
Jesus.
Wow.
I had
Bless you.
mental health services saying he can't be there. It's not good. I had all sorts going on. When I had this meeting with them, I showed them. I played them the video, what was going on,
Yeah.
and they turned around and said, "Well, if you didn't engage with them, then there wouldn't be a problem." So if I hadn't
So basically your
engaged with
fault.
the person,
It's your fault, yeah.
yeah,
God's sake.
So,
uh,
so was that the police then? So you obviously contacted the council,
that was the council that said if I hadn't
right? So
engaged.
what did the police do? If you had all this
So
evidence and these videos, did the police
on
do anything or?
the police reports came back that it's just a civil matter, because it was a dispute about where I was living, and
Oh, for
therefore,
fuck's sake.
if it had been me turning around to a woman saying that,
Mm-hmm.
but and I would ring up in a hell of a state when they were there, and then they wouldn't turn up for 24 hours.
Fucking hell.
Jesus. Thank the
So
Lord, though, that you had the strength to be able to call and say, look, I'm not in a good way. Like, I'm having bad thoughts, etc., because
mhm,
that shows strength in itself that you actually went and tried to get that help and called
yeah,
crisis team, even after being turned down so many times and basically told it's this or it's that or, well, don't engage. That's
mhm.
not the shit that you want to hear when you're at your
No.
lowest, because unfortunately people give up then, but you didn't. So
The mother turned around and said, "I'm moving back to my house on this date, and you need to be gone." And I was like, "Where?" And I got, "It'll be all right." And in the end, I just went, "I can't." So the day before she was due to come back, nobody was listening. Nobody was doing anything. So I had a tow-along caravan, and I literally got the caravan. I found golf um, a golf course that would let me stay on their car park, in the corner of their car park, and I
Oh,
took the caravan there, and I stayed there for 7 months. And
yeah.
the council first of all tried to say that they weren't my kids,
What?
or that I wasn't responsible for them, even though I've been doing it for so long, um, and that they could just go and live back with their mother, which was my first wife. So they were basically saying
What?
they couldn't do that. I told them about what had been going on. They wanted to know in depth about everything that had gone on. I told them about my second wife, and that I had a non-molestation order put on her.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
And they turned around and said, "Have you got the paperwork? You know, basically, we don't believe you." When I showed them the video, like I said, they said, "Well, if you hadn't engaged, and also, well, where's the crime reference numbers?" And it was just sort of like a constant battle to be heard.
Yeah. It's
Um,
very disheartening, isn't it,
Jesus.
when the
yeah,
people who you're asking for help
yeah,
uh,
and
are
it's all the people
asking.
that should be helping,
Yeah.
if even if they can't help straight away, it's knowing that they understand, and there's
It's
something
dealing
going
with the
on.
situation with,
Yeah.
sensitivity, being sensitive to, it's not something that should be dealt with like the attitude of, well, we need this and we need the paperwork and don't engage and don't do this. And it's like, no, I need help.
I had to apply for the non-molestation order 3 times because, first of all, the police didn't get to me quick enough. It needs to be within 10 days of an incident. First of all, the police didn't get to me in time, so I couldn't do it. The second time, the National Centre for Domestic Violence didn't get the information passed through in time.
Right.
Jesus.
And the third time almost didn't go through because it was over a Christmas and bank holiday, and I had to sit in the courtroom when the judge turned around and said it's not really in time, and I literally just broke down in the courtroom and went, when the hell am I going to get help? And
Oh,
he
mate.
went, I've heard enough, and that was it. And he put the order
Jesus.
on. This was an emergency order in the end.
So finally, the
But
judge
yeah, got that.
took you seriously.
But like I say, I found out afterwards that non-molestation order lasts for a year. My ex-wife had then rung up the council when I was trying to find somewhere else, and
Oh
she
God.
she turned around and told them that I was putting it all on and I was just trying to get a house and there was nothing really wrong. So I think, well, like I say, although yes, there's some physical aspects,
Yeah.
when it comes to men, first of all, it's being believed that we're on the
Mhm.
same
Yeah.
level, but also it's very easy for a woman that is hurting a guy will say is, if you don't say anything, or who's going to believe you because I will just say that. And both my exes have turned around and said, oh, you used to do this, and painting me out to be the bad person. And the problem that I've got with that is that it takes away from those people that actually have gone through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it casts doubt on the real people,
Mhm.
the people that have really gone through it.
You went through a lot, like, just to get where you are now. I mean, now obviously, um, you did eventually get your home, didn't you?
I
Your
did.
beautiful home,
Yeah.
your forever
I did.
home, which you've actually showed me pictures, and you've decorated it all, made it your own. So
Which
that
is
in itself
amazing.
must be incredible.
Yeah, and
And did you say
it's
that you're in therapy now as well? So
yeah. So I was lucky with, in the respect that I I when I went into the crisis team the second time, they were just doing a pilot of a new program. So even though I've moved away from that area, I've
Yeah.
stayed with the same doctor to stay with the same team,
oh
and I'm
god.
now being seen by them properly, which is good. And like you say, the home thing is brilliant because it means that I can I've got my own little place that I can close the door, and I can, nobody can come and get me. Nobody has to. I've
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
cameras up all over the place so that nobody
Yeah.
can come near, and if they do, everything's recorded so nobody can tell me,
Yeah.
Wow.
nobody can say anything that's lies or anything like that at all. So it's all, you know, but it's a safe space.
Yeah. And
Um,
it's a slow process for you now to heal, but
mhm,
I
yeah,
bet you're glad you are where you are now. You can have, like you said, you've got that space for your kids to come, and they've got the
mhm,
bedrooms, and
yeah,
you've got your
exactly.
dog, and do you still so you
Mhm.
still run your music clubs and things like that now.
Yeah,
So does that help as well with the healing
it
process?
does. I mean, like, music has always been the big thing. I mean, like, I think one of the things I struggle with is the fact of of what was said. It because it's a really easy way to get to you, and people
Yeah.
know this. I have a real confidence issue with my own abilities now. So there are certain things that when I've got other people doing stuff in front of me, and I'm helping other people, that side of things, I love it, because I love helping other people to boost them up and to do this sort of thing. And I do a lot of I try and help out as much as I can with anyone that's got mental health issues, stuff like that. Not because I claim to be something that I'm not, but I always say to people, unless you've been through the fog,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
And
100%.
other people can try and understand, but it's things like people sending hundreds and hundreds of inspirational memes, or telling you why you shouldn't feel a certain way.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
if you just think
Yeah.
differently, and that doesn't work. So when you've been
Yeah.
through it, you actually know, all right, I'm just here to listen. I'm just here to
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
just tell me, and there's no judgment, and there's no anything else.
It is nice. I understand that, to talk to. That's how me and Nat have got through so much, because I know I can literally say anything to her and she
Yeah.
wouldn't. She wouldn't be like,
Yeah.
"What? I don't get it." Like, she'd be like, "It's okay," or yeah, me too.
Yeah. And you're not going to get that response of like, you should just like try be less anxious.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, go
Like,
for go
oh,
for a jog, and I'm like,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, why did I
that's not.
not think of that? Like,
Oh
oh
my
my God.
god.
It's
Yeah.
changed my whole life.
What?
But it sounds like you're doing amazingly and you're helping so many people, and you've just turned like everything around. All like the odds were against you and you've just
Yeah.
gone, no, I'm not. Like the fact you fought to get help and you fought to get your house, and it's really
You fought
inspiring.
to
Like,
be heard, even though you were
yeah,
told,
it's
differently.
Yeah.
it's
Or
amazing.
all these lies. Could I just ask quickly, where did it stand afterwards, in regards to, so you moved away, and did this end in regards to, like, did you just keep telling the police and complaining, or did they stop on their own accord and just leave you alone, or did they still try and contact you now?
As far as the police are concerned, I've lost all faith. If I'm honest, I
Yeah,
don't bother. Um, where when I moved, I don't make. I'm away in a little part that nobody knows where I am. Nobody's allowed to know where I am unless I know them properly.
Yeah.
yeah,
I no longer do lessons from home because I don't want to advertise where I live.
Yeah.
Um, I've
oh
got
bless you.
like I say, I've got cameras up all over the house, so nobody can come near the front or anywhere else without being recorded, both on video and
Wow.
sound. It seems like it's all doom and gloom, but I think it's things like now it does get quite lonely, because
Yeah, of course.
you don't you're almost worried about who you're going to invite into the area again. And
Yeah.
if you're single and you go on dating apps, obviously you're putting down roughly where you live, or you're looking at
Yeah.
you're looking at sort of like people, and you can see someone that you go, but then you see where they live and you go, I don't want to be anywhere near that, so
Oh,
you come
babe,
away from it.
bless you.
So it's
It's the
yeah,
aftermath, isn't it? It's thinking,
yeah,
it's those everyday things that, people who haven't been through such a thing wouldn't have to think about,
Wouldn't have any
or,
idea. Yeah,
but obviously it's kind of, you've restarted your life, and you're rebuilding it, but you've also had to still take some of that
hmm
over
yeah,
with you to try and rebuild it, but
yeah.
keep yourself safe at the same time. So
yeah, and
But you should
you know
be so proud of
it's
yourself. Like
yeah,
everything you're
you
doing is
really should.
incredible. We're all terrified to tell our stories, or terrified that people won't believe
Yeah.
us, or people will try and tear us down. And it's just amazing that you are in
Yeah.
such a better place. Like,
Mhm.
I know you're still doing things, you're still working on yourself, which is amazing, but you look how far you've come.
Mhm.
Like, I would never know your story just from meeting you. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
you you're such a ray of sunshine. You're very positive, very lovely. Like, no one would ever it's
think-
amazing what you can suppress, isn't it, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on. And I know it was really difficult for you, and like you're
Yeah.
honestly so inspiring, and it's just lovely to hear your story.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for
Thank you
trusting
for
us
having me.
with that space.
Yeah, thank you so much. We
Yeah,
really
we will
appreciate
love
you.
you and leave you to get on with your day. But
Yes.
thank you a million times over. You're amazing. Thank you. This is me clapping.
Thank you. Mwah.
Big love. Wow. Another one done.
Oh, God love him. God love him.
It's so hard to like listen to someone's story
Mm-hmm.
and not just want to give them a hug. Like, yeah.
Yeah. We need to
Yeah.
start just doing
We
live
need to start going
versions
for
of
like
this to go into
coffee
people's
and
houses.
cuddles.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
it's so difficult to watch somebody over Zoom when you just want to hug them or
Yeah.
be there for a friend or,
It's so weird though. I didn't know about his stammer.
yeah. And that
Like, that is-
I mentioned it to you before, didn't I? That's what triggered it, and you were like,
Yeah.
really? And I was like, yeah, he didn't have one before, and all the trauma has triggered him, and he now has the stammer. So
It just shows though, like it's not just like a mental kind of problem like that people get left with. It is a physical problem too, and like that's something that's absolutely gonna have been a hindrance in his life.
hmm
Fucking hell, like
yeah, he's incredible. He really is. He's a great guy. He's
Yeah.
so sweet, and
I'm
The
so
f-
glad the dog's okay as well.
yeah. Oh my god, that made me so fucking angry.
I mean, I was angry the whole time, and then I was just like,
Oh my god, yeah. But that's
it
when I
just
had to buy
isn't it like, isn't it so weird? I think we spoke this before, like. The amount of people you speak to who have been in like an abusive relationship who then go into another one, and there's something
Yeah.
kind of psychological about like maybe it's because we're so low or so damaged in ourselves and think so low of ourselves that we kind of attract it.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
I know it's a
I'm not a
tough one,
psychiatrist, but-
isn't it? Well, exactly, yeah. But no, I know what you mean. It's something that we've talked about a lot. It's usually, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but it's usually if the relationships are quite close together.
Oh
If-
really?
yeah, like a lot of people I know, it's usually when maybe they're not quite there yet, but maybe think that you are, or haven't
Yeah.
properly dealt with your past abuse, and then go straight into another.
Oh bless him.
But yeah,
But he sounds like he's doing good now and he's doing good things and hopefully he can heal and
and he
don't
he
know,
is
grow.
he is. You can tell
Yeah.
he's really, his life's coming together nicely. So very
Bless
proud of
him.
the strength he has.
yeah. And like just honestly, thank you so much, James, for coming on and talking to us. It is so amazing to hear so many like different versions of abuse. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds horrible. It's not amazing to hear that at all. It's quite depressing and really. Do you know what? Actually, just a segue. I had what's the word? An interview with BBC Radio the other day, and I was talking about the podcast, and she was like, "Oh my god, you've done so many episodes! Like that's incredible!" And I was like, "It is incredible, and it's also horrific because it's 20 different stories of
Yeah.
abuse, and it is, in a sense, it's that whole like, oh my god, I'm not alone." So that's what I mean when I say it's amazing to hear someone else's story because you
Yeah.
go, it does happen, and people are being like open about it, and
Yeah.
he didn't have to come on and talk to us. He
No.
didn't have to tell you originally like what happened. Like it's the strength is probably what I mean. Is amazing.
No, I understand exactly what you mean, and
yeah.
like you said, it's a space where we can all just be like, yeah, we understand.
getcha.
There is literally no judgment.
No, none.
So yeah, but it's like, God, is it 20 really? Wow.
Babe, I think this is going to be like 22, maybe 23.
Wow.
Like we've done. I think during the tour was when we did number 20.
Wow. Okay. Is it weird that
That's
I've only just
20
realised that?
weeks.
But it's just
20
I think,
weeks.
I think I knew that, but you saying that out loud, like 20 different stories, that really
Yeah.
kind of took me back then, and I was like, oh wow.
Oh shit, yeah, we did do that. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, if
Wow.
you guys want to get in contact, please do. We are at takebackthebeattour@gmail.com, or you can feel free to drop us a message on our Instagram
Yeah.
at takebackthebeat. We'd love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, we're on all
Thank you
socials.
so much. Yeah, all the socials. All
And
the socials.
the what did I call it earlier? The
The Toctic.
Toctic. Because
We're on the Toctic.
we're on that now.
I think that's what people call it who were born in the 90s. I think that's the
Hey,
thing.
hey, now we'll have less of that lip.
Oh my god, you were born in the 80s, weren't you?
I just made the last 25 days. Oh, no, 25 days. Wow, I can't count. I made the last
okay?
31 days of
The 80s.
89, yeah. So
The
I'm,
glory years.
I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
depressing. Just
November
as a segue before we leave.
30th, 89.
You know when like you speak to someone like someone from my band, from my mirror,
Hmm.
his date of birth started with 20, and I was like,
Okay,
what?
we're done now. Okay.
I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go cry in a corner. Like, fuck me.
Babe, we're in our prime. I'm in my prime. We're good.
I'm in my prime of love.
Mm-hmm.
Right, thank you guys so much, and tune in again next week. Hopefully we'll have kicked Hay Fever's butt by then.
No, not
Probably
at all.
not.
It's going to get worse and you know it.
I know, I'm literally like dying inside. Like, I walked through a park yesterday and I was like, what are you doing?
Dead,
Literally, find the pavement, find the pavement.
It's the government. Okay, we're going to go.
Okay, bye, conspiracy theories. Bye.
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 Take back the beat. Voice notes.
We do apologise if anyone was triggered by any of the dialogue we used today. We are still learning and we are only just beginning to talk about our own experiences. We're aware that trigger warnings are completely different for everybody, so please bear with us. We love you all. We also want to hear your experiences. If there's anything you'd like to share with us, any stories, anything you are happy to discuss on this podcast, you can stay anonymous if you would like. Please send us an email at takebackthebeattour@gmail.com. That's takebackthebeattour@gmail.com. You can also find us on social media at Take Back the Beat. Thanks, guys. We love you all.